we doing it, everybody? I'm back with a badass video. You know who this guy is? Some of you do, some of you don't. This is Jim Wells, Ballistic Boats. Look what's behind us. You see that? That's a brand new Ballistic. 204?
204.
204 with a 300 on the back. I've been waiting for this day for a long time. I've been telling Jim I wanted to get out there, talk to him, be around that, and I haven't been able to do that, so he showed up with us. Happens to be that this boat is sold, going to Michigan, correct?
Michigan.
Michigan, customer coming here to pick it up, which is kind of cool. So this boat gets to be here for a while. So if you want to touch and smell and feel and experience the Ballistic feel, you could stop by Team Marine and get a look at it, if you know what I mean. It's going to be here a while. So we're just going to talk about Ballistic. A lot of people maybe not even know. We did a video, I don't know how many years ago we started. I don't know how long you were building boats when I gave you that first phone call. Was that year?
Probably two.
Year two. So that was like year two is when
almost 9 years ago.
Yeah, almost 9 years ago probably. It was probably about that, wasn't it, Jordan? 7 years ago probably? It was about 7 years ago probably, our first 6, something like that. It doesn't matter. You can go back and see it. Are you gonna post it? It's gonna be right up in here, so you can go look at it. I actually called Jim. I just gave him a phone call. We had heard about Ballistic, and I started seeing some things about Ballistic, and I wanted to know more about Ballistic. So I gave Jim a call, and he just literally laid it down for me. He told me how they build the boats, told me about what they were doing, and we ran through a great video. And then we did I think we did a boat build actually about Ballistic. We built one and spec'd it out and came up with an over-under price of it. And since then I've continued to talk to Jim. We've talked a lot over the years about different things. And we're just fortunate enough to have the boat here. This boat behind me, as I walk through it, it's eye-opening for all my guys to look through it, because when they're talking and they're asking Jim questions and he's got the answers that they want to hear. And when I say that, like as mechanics, as people that fix things, and when I originally talked to Jim about this, you don't have the not serviceable feel, I guess you're gonna say. This boat is completely serviceable, is completely able to be worked on by the fishermen, and Jim thinks of that when he's doing some things, when he's building boats and he's doing that. So Jim you started in Idaho, right?
Yep.
Went to Texas.
Went to Texas.
Now?
2 years.
Now back in Idaho. Right, back in Idaho. But you still have small shop down in Texas doing some stuff for
just a small shop.
Yeah. Yep. So still got a small shop in Texas doing some things down there, and back in Idaho. The boat itself. So tell me about the 204. Give me some specs on the 204 for these people.
The 204's it's the one that is 20 foot 4 inches from the transom to the nose. So you can compare apples to apples with other brands of boats. That's why we measure it from the transom.
Okay.
94 inch beam. It's got a 15 inch pad. Weighs about 1,600 pounds. Our 204 is actually our little bit better performer. It runs mid to upper 70s with the 250. If you put a 300 on it, it can push into the 90s. That's what this one has, a 300. It's got quite a few graphs on it, so it'll probably run mid 80s. Yeah,
it's got a lot of graphs on it. It's got a lot of bit of stuff going on. It's got more screens than my house has got. It's loaded up. We were talking a little bit about rigging, and if you're not familiar with Ballistic, we're gonna do a follow-up video and I'm gonna walk through the boat, so you're literally gonna see all the little things we're talking about. When I talk about cleanliness, when I talk about the things that fishermen should appreciate, when I talk about just how the boat is built, we'll get into that. But you were talking with Chad about obviously wiring a powerhouse up front. The boat's built for it, correct?
Yes.
It's always ready to rock and roll. Okay, so there you go.
It's got the extra cable in it, 6 gauge wire running to the front.
It's got everything. So essentially it's got everything. And we were talking, because that's the biggest thing now, when we're adding electronics, we're doing this and we're having to tell the customers, well, we got to change your wiring. We got to go in there and pull your stuff out to be able to supply enough amperage to make the things work. Because obviously we can maintain voltage, we get a better picture, we get less engine issues, we get less codes, we get all that crap. And these people aren't seeing that when they're buying some of these other brands. Some of these other brands aren't even ready for it yet. Yeah. And I don't understand why you wouldn't be ready for it in today's world.
Yeah.
When we got a conglomerate of crap up front that fishermen think they need to see a fishy at the bottom, and they think they need all that shit, which is great for those companies and stuff like that. But there's still boat companies today that aren't prepared. And that's kind of frustrating. But then you get guys like Jim, and you get some other boat builders that are literally doing it the right way. When I say the right way, they're preparing you for the fishing experience. So if there's a problem, you bring it to me. It doesn't cost you $3,000 to put one unit in because I just had to rewire your boat. And if I do got to pull wires through a boat, I can pull wires through his boat. Because instead of using a 3/4 inch tube in the boat to run 3 inches of wire through, Jim does it different. Like I was telling him just before, Icon is about the only boat manufacturer that I've been able to see pre-rigged and then going into rigging stage and saying that they're doing it correct. And the way Jim laid his out and we opened it up, I would say, like I said in other videos, this boat is probably the other boat that I would say is ready to rock and roll and accessible for fishermen. And that's a huge thing. And I think you think of that when you're building your boats. Accessibility on the water. I think when we talked to Heath Murphy, when he was at Gambler, that's what he talked about, being accessible on the water. And that's what Icon also does. So that's where I think these guys, boat builders like Jim, stand out. They're not just thinking of quality at the time, but they're thinking of, if this breaks and I'm fishing, can I repair it? Because everything breaks, people. We know this. This industry is full of broken shit everywhere. I mean, stuff just breaks, and it's no failure to him. It's just literally a failure to the brand, or a rock went through it, or it's jammed with weeds, or something happened, wiring, something went wrong. And it's not necessarily the builder's fault, but you got to be able to change things. And guys like him think of that stuff. Probably because I don't know the history, but you probably fished before.
I fished.
And you were pissed when something would break and you couldn't get to it. Or you had to take a bunch of screws out, you had a hand screwdriver, dropping screws end up in the bilge, can't put screws back in, all that stuff. All to replace a pump or to replace a valve or to do something crazy like that.
Yeah.
That's all thought of in a ballistic, people. It's already, when I walk through this boat and I give you the piece by piece walkthroughs and the little things that I get Chad involved with the wiring, and they've already critiqued the boat. All right, they've already critiqued the boat, so. And when I say they, I'm like Jackson, because Jackson's basically our guy that fishes all the time with electronics and that type of stuff. Chad with the rigging and stuff like that, and just me with the overall boat itself. You're gonna get all three of us talking about this boat. You're gonna get it piece by piece by piece by piece. And you're gonna see what the ballistic experience is really all about. You're gonna see why you should be going that direction and taking a look at ballistic. Now, like I said, this boat will be here for, we don't know how long. I haven't communicated yet with the owner, but I think it's gonna be here at least a week, probably, or two maybe, we don't know. So you'll be able to come down and take a look at it. It's gonna be great. You'll be able to see it. And it's just gonna be something that I think everybody should have. If you're in the area or you're from around here, you should come down and at least look at it. It's gonna be inside all the time. It's never gonna see the outside. It'll be right in the shop here, staying warm during our cold time that's coming, so. Jim was also telling me, why don't you tell me a little about construction of the hull? Talk to these people a little bit about how this hull is built.
This hull, it actually is vacuum infused, as well as our top cap. But as far as the hull, we use a full layer of Kevlar throughout the whole bottom of the boat. It's a special material that has e-glass and carbon in it. We also add carbon to the sides of the hull to stiffen those for compression. Fully vacuum infused, we use all the highest end core materials. As far as like the transom, our rod locker dividers, our subfloor stringer system is all Coosa, and we always use the Blue Water 26, which is the best they make, throughout the whole boat. 24-ounce carpet. We've never spared expense anywhere in the boat. We've always, from 100% vinyl ester resin, and it's not just in our infusion, it's even on our outer layer of chop strand. We use 100% vinyl ester resin on that, and so it's throughout. So I mean, it's as strong as you can get as far as how we feel we can make it, you know. So using the best materials, bioxo materials, and just everything in it's the highest end that we can use.
And that's just the boat in a box right there, people. And I think when we talked to Icon and TC, literally laid it down, and Jim would probably, this boat starts as a bucket of liquid.
Yep.
It's literally, and he said that, it like clicked in my mind. It was like, yeah, it's literally a bucket of liquid when you start, and it turns out to being something beautiful. So there has to be some craftsmanship, there has to be some engineering and some pride in it to make a quality boat nowadays. We see so much stuff that is no pride. And I'm telling you this, people, when I say no pride, I'm telling you we can go in it and we can nitpick it and we can tear it apart piece by piece, and I can show you time and time again. I just got a video on a Ranger that we will be posting. They literally cut the hull off and they had questions. They cut it right in half. They cut it in half, and they asked questions to me about the stringer system in it. I haven't showed anybody this video yet or these pictures. This boat is built like shit. It is horrible. They cut it straight in half, right in front of the consoles. And you should see it's broke, it's delaminating, it's crazy. It's literally hidden with the foam, essentially. They're hiding the imperfections with the foam. And it's crazy. It's crazy what they did. And these guys asking my opinion, and I'm not a boat builder, but just by looking at it, I can tell you right now, it's made like a Rice Krispie box. It's not good. It's crazy. And those boats are selling for the same price as this boat. Same price as this boat probably, or close to it. And you guys are paying it, but you're not seeing the real deal. And I'm saying the real deal is like what he was just talking about. Using the highest quality products at any time. Never taking a second, an ounce, a dollar away to make it cheaper. Making it the best product possible. And those people that are building these boats today are the ones you guys need to go to. You need to talk to these people. Call Jim up and ask him questions about his boat. He will explain everything about his boat, why you should be in a ballistic. Not because they're fast, not because they're probably great to fish out of. Yeah, probably a little bit because of how it's thought of, but it's literally built by you.
and small crew.
And small crew. Essentially. So this guy sitting here is building this boat. He's not sitting behind a desk just doing the paperwork. He's building the boat. And at the same time, doing the best he can to market his boat. It's not an easy industry. It's a horrible industry. We were talking a little bit about it. It's tough. It's a tough industry. You can only kick a rock so far before it quits rolling. And the guys that continue to push and are adverse to what the conditions are and what it is, then those will be the ones that succeed. I personally believe in this boat. This is my first actual time of touching one, if you can believe it. I've talked nothing but good things about it. This is my first time touching one. He sent me that text like 2 weeks ago that he was coming through here. I was like jumping for joy. I was like, this is the greatest day in the world. And why haven't I gone? Because it's like, we're busy and all that other stuff, but it's also, he's a very small company. Some of these other companies that have us come out, obviously they take care of us getting there, to and from, taking care of us and making sure we're put up in motels. I didn't want to strap him and say, hey, Jim, it's going to cost you $6 grand for me to come out. You excited about that? For me to maybe tell you your boat's a piece of shit. I mean, that's the chance everybody takes when Andy shows up, because it's either we're going to get kicked out of town, right, Jordan? Or we're going to be praised, and that's just kind of how it goes. But for him to bring a boat to me, granted now it's going to Michigan, but to bring it to me and not be scared, and he's probably got nothing to worry about, but the fact of the matter is, if you hear to see and touch the feel of this boat right now, you can tell. I look down it, I don't see a ripple. I look on edges, nothing. I don't see frayed carpet. I don't see carpet lifting in some spots. I don't see carpet going imperfection directions, one going one way, one going the other. Lids open and close and lock. People, I'm telling you, when you're buying a boat, like I said, don't go buy a barcode boat. Go buy a real boat. Go buy a boat that's built by a guy that takes passion in what they're doing, and that's what this boat is. I can't say it any differently, because that's what I feel sitting behind me right now. That's an American-made quality product right there. And whether you like it or not, TC nailed it when he said it starts out as liquid and it turns out to be that. And that's just, it's crazy, people. I really don't have much more to say. It's just kind of one of those things. It's just when I've been in this industry this long and I've seen the ups and downs of how things go. Jim, you've been in this industry for how long? You were serviced, right?
I was service, yep.
Service before?
Since 01.
2001. So we're doing about the same thing, but as long as, yeah, because I got in at about 99-ish probably. So I've just been service. That's all I've ever done, service. But he started a service, so that tells you more about why the boat is built the way it is. Because he dealt with the same shit we deal with here every day. Is putting your arm inside and getting fiberglass all over you, and not being able to charging one guy 5 hours to replace 2 fucking live well valves on a Ranger walleye boat because they put it where you couldn't get to. I mean, seriously, people, seriously. It's just, you need to come look at the boat, and you need to get on Jim's website, and you need to just contact Jim, because I think he'll probably answer the phone if you want to talk about a ballistic boat and see what, but you got to remember, small company. You're not going to get your boat tomorrow.
Nope.
You're not going to get your boat. It's going to take a while, but the wait's worth it. I mean, if I order a Lamborghini tomorrow, I'm sure they're not going to deliver it to me on Monday. They're gonna be like, well, that boat, it's probably gotta get built. We're gonna make sure you get it in a year or two. Good luck. And the nice thing is the boat manufacturers that made it through COVID had dealt with all of the issues, and there was a ton of issues, and there's a ton of crap going around about a ton of stuff, and I'm not gonna get political with people sitting here doing anything, but there will be a day when everything comes out and you guys will hear the things that happened with certain things. But when boat builders can't get outboards because big boat builders get the outboards and it makes the little guys suffer, there's really nothing they can do but just barely claw through life and struggle and be okay with it and still succeed. If I'm buying a boat, I'm going to that guy no matter what, because he just did it. I'm not going to where there's a warehouse of outboards and that guy's trying to shut down guys like this, and he didn't do it because he's still here. So that's just the way it is. That's this industry, whether you like it or not. It's a backstabbing industry, and it's a tough deal to be in. It's a tough one. So we know a lot more than you. Someday I'll get it all out there for everybody to see. But when it comes to the industry, and I'm saying the industry in a whole, there's a lot of backstabbing that goes on, and it's kind of cruel. It's a cruel industry, but when you're building products like this, like I always used to tell my kids when I coached them, we don't need to go on social media and Instagram and blast ourselves about how bad we just beat a team. We just let the score do the talking for us. You just let the boat do the talking for you. Go check out Ballistic. Come here and check this thing out. I'll be here next week. You can stop in any day of the week and come in and just see this boat, because I'm sure it'll be here all week. We would actually love it. We'd love it, because I'm sure Jim would like it, because we get some more people to see it and just say, well, what about this? What about this? Why is this like this? And I don't know it all, but I'm sure this guy would answer it if I called him. So, anything else you want to say about your boat, your brand, your company, anything else?
Well, we're just, like you talked the whole time, we're a small company. When we started the company, I wanted to make the best boat in the industry. That was the goal. That's why the materials we use, searching the materials list as far as finding the best. And vacuum infusion was always, before we even really started rolling, that was something I wanted to do. I wanted to be the first to do it. As far as I know, we were the first to do the hull
100%
infused.
Yep, 100%. And everybody followed, and everybody started to follow them.
And then just, I've taken some stuff from other companies. I've been around a lot of different boats, and the open builds come from a brand you talk about a lot, and I like that. So basically I just tried to integrate things that I liked from different boats and integrate it into the boat. And me being a certified mechanic for quite a while, and being a fisherman, and just like you talked earlier about being able to fix or work on the boat while you're on the water. When you're a mechanic, you can work on the boat while you're on the water, and a lot of fishermen nowadays, they have to be able to do that, because something happens on the water and you don't know how to fix it or can't fix it. There goes your day. You got to be able to try and get through the day. And so pretty much everything in the boat I tried to make where it was easy to work on. Not only easy to work on, but the biggest thing for me was simplicity.
Yep.
And you said that in some of your early videos about it being just not necessarily plain Jane, but just clean. And I feel like the more stuff that you put on a boat, plastic and different stuff, it just can break and go bad. And so if you look at our boat, there's essentially no plastic in it. Gel coat, and just, like I said, the best of materials, and being clean, there just isn't hardly anything to go wrong in it. Like even our switches, we have the, when I was doing the research and doing a lot of the NEMA network switching devices, we were the first in the industry to do that, and we got hammered for it because the reliability. But with the C-zone system, having the backup with being able to move the fuse to turn pumps on, to get you through, I just felt like that was, in my mind, made it to where it was
fail-proof, essentially.
Yeah, fail-proof for sure, but that's just as a backup system. So you could get through the day. And so I just working on that system and made it real clean. No switches or gauges. It's all ran through the graph. Just made a super clean boat. And so that's just kind of what I strive for. And you can just kind of see it with no switches or gauges.
Yeah, it's as boats start to evolve from what we had, it's coming. We saw it at Icon. They are probably, they took a lot they took some stuff from you. They didn't just go and build a boat. They literally bought a bunch of boats and tore them apart and figured out what was the best and how do we make them the best. Because same thing like Jim said, your best builders are taking the best boats and figuring out what works the best and trying to make them all together. And once you have that perfect piece of pumpkin pie that tastes the best with whipped cream on it, you don't ever want to get rid of it. You don't want to throw mom's recipe away or grandma's recipe away because it's worked forever. That's simply what we have here. We have a recipe for success, and whether you like this style of boat or not, but I think if you were literally able to come in here and see this boat, you would be like, holy shit, that's a boat that I want. And that's exactly what you should want, because it's literally, like I said, I said before, it's probably, and without even seeing it, I said it was one of the best boats built. Without even seeing it, I've said that. Now you can look back on my videos, I've said it. And now I've seen it, touched it. It's one of the best boats built, people. And Icon's there because of their craftsmanship and I think their success. They want to have everything perfect, you know what I mean? And Jim building it by himself with a very small crew, that's also a recipe for success. Because start to finish, and as a guy in business and dealing with thousands of boats a year that come through this shop, you want that success, and that's overseeing it and being a part of it. And that's why when you call here and you email, I don't get back to you, I don't answer the phone. It's because I'm out here working. I just don't just get to do this every second of the day, people. I'm actually wrenching on things. So, and that's the only way success is built. You have to be around it. So, man, I'm telling you, like, you got to go check out Ballistic Boats, and that's just all I got. Our videos are here and here. Where are all my videos? They're all up here. You can always go look and watch them, see what that is. This boat is beautiful. It is fully rigged. It's got a lot of stuff going on. There's some DD26 stuff on here. Good deal. There's a lot of cool stuff going on this boat right here. Right down to the trailer. The trailer's built exactly how I would want it. Like I've always said, when there's no boat on the trailer's got to look like, why am I going to go over and look at that? I mean, I just look at the fenders and I'm going to go look at it. I mean, I'm just going to go look at it because of the fenders and the rims. It literally looks like the Stealth Bomber could sit on that thing, and that's just something that's cool. It's just really cool to me. So that's it. That's all I got. Jim Wells, go check him out. Go check out Ballistic Boats. You want to see, touch, smell, feel? You can come here. You can't let you sit in it because we don't own it. Somebody else does. I'm not letting anybody sit in it, but we'll let you come over and touch it and see it for sure. Get over here, check it out. It'll be here next week, maybe the following week. I don't know, but we'll keep you updated. Follow-up video on this will be the walkthrough. We'll get a walkthrough video, so if you're not able to be here, at least we can do a walkthrough video and we can start to kind of dissect the boat for you and you can see things. So in this video, if you've got questions about this boat, now's the time to comment. Comment on what you want to see, what parts of the boat you want to see. If there's questions you want, that way I can get these questions to Jim. If there's questions that I don't know, and we can have all the answers for you. So make sure you're commenting, make sure you're doing what you can. Get over to Jim's website, which is, what's the website?
Ballisticboats.org.
Ballisticboats.org. Go check them out, get on there, take a look at it, and see what you got, all right? That's all I got. Jordan, you got anything?
Nope.
You got nothing today. What the hell are you here for? Make us look good. That's what you're supposed to say.
Yeah.
To make us look good. Appreciate y'all. As always, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell to witness the madness. And I hope everybody is soon to get in one of these boats and scream, speed, money, no brakes. We're out. See ya.